Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one here, I actually really wanted to focus on Jadis, and I also want to touch on Major General Beale as well towards the end of the video. But I wanted to talk about Jadis and her role here in season 1 of Rick and Michonne. And I also really wanted to talk about, again, Major General Beale and the reveal of that character. Is that character going to be in season 1? And why I do think he should be in season 1, and I wonder if they are going down this route with that character. But anyways, before going any further, obviously make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. Fear the Walking Dead is premiering next month, and then the month after we have the Walking Dead Dead City, and then the month after we have, ComicCon, which, I mean, I'm assuming we're getting a Rick and Michonne teaser trailer, right? It might not be the full trailer because I think the original plan when they announced it last year at Comic-Con was to actually go film this thing probably at the end of the year, January or whatever, and then have the show come out in October, right? And then this way they can actually show the full trailer at Comic-Con. Well, Andrew Lincoln did sort of promise that, they would be back here next year and then have something to show you guys kind of thing, right? So I do think they're going to give us something, but it might not be the full trailer yet, just because, to release the trailer in July when the show's not coming out until, say, February next year, like it's still quite a while away, right? Like it's still 10 months away until we see that show. So I think, maybe we'll get a teaser trailer. It'll be like a minute long or something like that, which will still be super awesome. And then I think in October, we'll probably get the trailer after the Daryl Dixon show airs, right? Or maybe that'll be November or something. So I think it's probably going to play out like that, but still, at Comic-Con, we're still going to get something for the Rick and Michonne show. And I mean, there could be a lot of casting information. I think there's going to be a lot of stuff announced this year at Comic-Con. I think this year's Comic-Con is going to be pretty massive. So I am very, very excited. So anyways, yeah, definitely, like I said, make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. There's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about really for the rest of the year, right? It's April 2nd now. For the last however many months, things have been relatively quiet. It started to pick up a little bit in this last month, but now we're about, a little over a month away until these shows start airing, and Fear the Walking Dead is also airing this year, or it's ending this year, I mean, and so, a lot of stuff happening this year, so I'm definitely very excited. It's definitely a really good time to be a Walking Dead fan, because last year, I was saying the same thing, but last year, all we got was the Walking Dead final season. Like, that's all we got last year, with the hopes of something Rick-related happening, right? Which eventually it did, I guess, at Comic-Con, got the announcement, and this year, we're actually going to be seeing stuff. We're going to be getting footage of the show and all of that, so finally, we're at this moment, right? Anyways, let's get into the show. So the reason why I wanted to talk about Jadis being a secret agent for Rick Grimes is, a lot of it has to do with that character specifically, because Jadis as a character, she's done that throughout her history on the Walking Dead original series. Jadis, she really does. She plays both sides because if one side is going to lose, she doesn't want to be on that side. She wants to be able to be on the winning side if possible. And, to say if she does do that here at the CRM, that is her reasoning here, I don't know if that would necessarily be her reasoning, because it wouldn't really make too much sense, because obviously to her, she knows the CRM is going to win, right? Like, there's no way she thinks, well, I should, play both sides because there's a chance that Rick Grimes could win. No, I don't see it being like that. I think if she's going to help Rick in any way, it might be because she feels guilty for what she did, right? Like, I wonder if they're going to explore that character a lot more in this series. It's something that it's hard to do with just 6 episodes, right? Like, you can show some of that stuff and maybe we'll get a lot more with the character, but it's really hard to showcase that in just 6 episodes. Unless the episodes are going to be at least an hour long, they definitely should be a lot longer. I don't want them to be like 30, 40 minutes. Like, they got to be about an hour long, so like if they're airing on AMC, they have to be like at least have an hour and a half time slot. Like, you need to have that for sure for this show, because there's only 6 episodes. I think if they're that long, it will, overall in terms of film footage, amounts to like 8 to 10 episodes of The Walking Dead. This way, you can definitely get some good storytelling in there, right? You can focus a lot on Jadis and all of that. So I think it makes a lot of sense. I know a lot of people were talking about some of the stuff that people saw while filming. It's interesting. That's all I'll say. Like, it's interesting to see the character reaching out to him in some way like that. And who knows, maybe she's not necessarily a secret agent for him, but maybe it's more of she's giving him a warning, like, don't do this because this is going to lead to that. Because maybe it's possible that Jadis does care a lot for Rick, right? Like we don't know how that character necessarily feels about Rick. Like we've seen some stuff, we've heard things on The Walking Dead, obviously, but it's been years now, and just sort of to figure out where things are at right now, we'll have to wait and see. I think one thing that we should also sort of look at in terms of, those characters is, should Rick even trust her in general, right? Like, I know that, like, maybe she's telling him information that could be really useful and helpful, but should Rick even trust her? Like, if I was Rick, I really would not. Like, I know technically she saved his life. She brought him there, but she's done a lot of things beforehand that makes her, untrustworthy. And so if I was Rick, I would not trust her. But Rick is in a very, scary situation where he's sort of by himself and he needs all the information he can get. So, I think listening to her, whatever, it depends on what she's saying to him, right? Like, that's the thing. We don't know exactly what is happening there. So it's interesting. I'll say that, Jadis's role in this show is going to be very, very interesting, and just to see how that's going to play out with Rick. And I mean, that's the thing too, is Jadis aware that, Michonne is around, right? Like, that's something that, like, I'm so fascinated in the dynamic of the story here and how everything is going to fit together, because everything seems so just, I don't know, it seems like they're building up to something here, right? And that's kind of where I wanted to get into some of the stuff here with Jadis and Major General Beale, because Major General Beale is a character we first heard of, obviously, on The Walking Dead World Beyond. He was sort of built up as, like, this really scary, like, final boss, basically, for our characters, right? Like, he sort of is the one running the CRM. He's the leader. He's, like, the one in charge, right? Or something like that anyways. And so, are we going to meet that character here? Right? And is Jadis connected in any way to Major General Beale? And first of all, just on Major General Beale, is that casting coming soon? Just because in terms of, them filming and people following along with what people have been seeing and just some of the cast on set and them taking photos with fans and stuff, like, there hasn't been a single thing yet. Like, we haven't gotten anything at all. Like, there's been nothing. We got, one piece of casting information, which is really cool. Besides that, though, there's been no information that has come out yet. Mind you, I will say, the way I sort of picture Major General Beale's scenes playing out, I think a lot of it, honestly, is filmed indoors, or at least I think it would be filmed indoors, right? So I think in that sense, it makes perfect sense that, the casting would be kept under wraps, because it's pretty easy to do that. And I also don't see this character, if he is going to be in the show, playing a really big role. It kind of feels like they're building up to the reveal of this character. And I wonder if they're going to play it just like how they built up Negan. Because if you remember with Negan in season 5 and 6, they sort of built up the character over time. In season 5, not really, obviously, but in season 6, they really did build up that character all season. You would hear his name here and there, and it was just like, what is this? Like what is this information? And then they built up to that very big epic reveal, and it was amazing. It was honestly so amazing. And so imagine if something like that happened here, right? Like, that was sort of the big finale event, was Major General Beale's reveal, and just what happens there, because I think you could make his reveal so epic. There hasn't really been a character on the show that has had such an epic reveal like that in a long time, because I would say the Commonwealth's reveal really wasn't that crazy. We've heard of some stuff, but seeing them at the rail yards, like, it was cool, but it wasn't like Savior Negan cool, right? Like, it wasn't that, because like his reveal there in the season 6 finale, as much as I have such huge issues with that cliffhanger, the reveal is so epic. It's honestly one of my favorite reveals for any character on the show. And even the Whisperers, I would say the Whisperers definitely are up there for sure. The Whisperers reveal in general, that was just, it was crazy. Alpha's reveal, I think, was also done really well, but it didn't have the same thing. And I think with Major General Beale, he is someone that, we've heard of. We've heard the name. And now you just got to tease who this character is. Who is this person that is so high up in ranks here that really is he the leader of everything, or is he like second in command or third in command or whatever? Like, is there someone above him? It kind of seems like he is maybe the one that's just in command of everything here, right? And so it's just, it's really interesting to sort of think about like where this show could go. And that's what I mean. Like, is Major General Beale going to play a role in this show? Or is he someone that's just going to be there in terms of just he's a villain for the overall Walking Dead universe, and the Rick and Michonne show is just a show focused on those two characters. They're not going to get into that character at all. You know, I originally thought that, but because Jadis seems to be on the show, I'm just like, no, I think they will get more into the CRM stuff more than we think. I do think there is going to be a season 2. I feel pretty confident with it. And so I think they will get into more stuff there once we actually get further along and all that. So yeah, I think that, you know, Jadis's role here in this show is going to be really, really interesting to see. I'm excited for some storyline stuff, honestly. And I don't think we're going to get anything until ComicCon, sadly. But I'm just really excited for just anything in terms of that. And again, you know, Major General Beale, I guess that's a question I have for you guys. Like, do you think he's going to play a role here in season 1? Do you think he'll be a finale reveal, sort of teasing a season 2 if he shows up and there's a cliffhanger in any way? Or do you think that he's just not going to be on the show at all? Let me know your thoughts down below, because like this one character, it's very hard to sort of figure him out. And, you know, is he playing a big role at all in the show? Is he just going to be a character for another show? Like, it is kind of hard to say. I mean, I will say, you know, thinking back to World Beyond, that show was Rick Grimes' movie trilogy setup, right? They're not doing that anymore. They're doing the show. So I think that one character should still, you know, transition over. I don't think they're going to give up that character just because they already built him up. They already have him there. If they never address that character ever, people are going to be wondering, like, well, who's Major General Beale then? Like, you know, you mentioned him so many times, like, you know, so yeah, anyways, I'm going to leave it here. Definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.